Welcome, and thank you for taking a couple of minutes out of your very busy schedule to hear about an opportunity available to you on February 24th and 25th in Annapolis, Maryland, Friday evening 4 to 8 and Saturday 7:30 to 5. I believe that this seminar, this training experience could truly change the way you do your training. The reason is you get to see it in action. We actually go to a home where you actually watch me implement the core training system and how it can teach someone how to clean a home perfectly every single time they clean a home, even if it's the first time they've ever cleaned a home. Actually, cleaning is nothing more than habits. What you need to do here is create new habits in the people you have cleaning for you and probably the new people who walk in the door. Sometimes it's easier to create new habits than it is to change habits. And that requires a buy-in from the people you're trying to change or anybody you're going to train. A buy-in is easy to get when the way you train makes sense. Again, it's a habit, and what you have to do is create these habits. The problem happens when you don't create the right habits and you let bad habits happen is that cleaner will miss that same picture behind that bedroom door every single time she cleans. What happens is the woman who gave this woman that picture for a wedding picture said, "Hey, where'd you hang it?" They go to look at it, they open up the door or close the bedroom door, and there's dust hanging from that picture. You, of course, receive a call the next day saying for financial reasons they aren't going to be able to afford to use you anymore. What they're saying is financially it doesn't make sense to use a company that embarrassed her in front of the person who gave her a picture. Number one, it was bad enough it was hanging behind the door. Secondly, it's got dust on it. You can't expect to keep that cleaner. That client. The way you make sure that doesn't happen is by following the same process time and time again and creating habits that ensure that they do not miss that picture behind the door. For this reason, I recommend that you bring a key player along, someone in your organization who can help you bring the enthusiasm and the excitement back to your office that it is possible to clean a home perfect every single time. How nice will that be for you? No more listening to customer complaints. And for your cleaners, no more listening to you complain about the customer complaints. It's a win-win for everyone and changes the environment in your office. And you start to grow very, very rapidly, and you grow by keeping a repeat client, which is the most wonderful thing to service a repeat client. Which brings me to what we do on Friday evening and Saturday. On Friday evening, we start with how to sell a repeat client and how to keep a repeat client, and there's a certain way to do that. I had 754 repeat clients and cleaned 95 homes a day. We had 17 teams and probably did no more than 5 one-times a week. A much easier way to make a living. Very consistent. Is it difficult? Yes, cleaning services will always be difficult to run, but there are ways you can make them a lot more palatable. Also on Saturday night, we're going to talk about how to find cleaners, how to orientate cleaners, how to find them, how to interview them, to have your job, and then how to orientate them, and which takes us to Saturday morning, where you will meet in this very lovely large home, which is perfect for training when we have 10 to 15 people watching a bathroom being cleaned. We have a nice sized master bath thanks to our hosts, Ed and Rebecca, right in Annapolis, Maryland. We will have breakfast. They will serve us breakfast Saturday morning at 7:30, so we don't need to waste any time and we can get started right away. We will spend 5 to 6 hours literally dusting one room, cleaning a bathroom, and cleaning a kitchen, so you can watch how to train each one of these arenas. And an owner will do the cleaning, and another owner will do some training. Then after that, we will conclude with how to structure your teams to get the most work out of them, how to structure the areas they clean in order to make sure that quality stays in check and you have very little breakage and damage. How do you keep all this in place? Now that you've trained them, how do you keep them from sabotaging it down the road? Which leads us to the venue of one-on-ones, and we will spend a bit of time talking about the value of weekly one-on-ones with each one of your teams. Or solos if you are solo operation. I'm going to show you performance appraisals and how to fill them out and how to set benchmarks for your company. And we will conclude with probably the most valuable position of all, which is the field operations manager. This is a person who will keep all this in place for you if you are large enough to have one. If you aren't, then it's important that you as an owner know that you are playing that role and what you need to do to get yourself big enough to have a field operations manager. But having a field operations manager is truly the emancipation of an owner from their business, and they now spend the 90% time that they should be spending on leadership and only 10% on management. So I hope you join us on February 24th and 25th in Annapolis, Maryland, for a really great event. There will be networking on Friday evening at lunchtime, at dinner time. We will all go out to dinner together if you want to join us. And then again, of course, Saturday as we're doing the training. It is very reasonable. If you get to it before January 15th, you can bring your key player for $200 instead of $400. And you can come for $8.99 instead of $9.99. This also includes the $1,432 worth of product that you'll need to get started, like the aprons and the core DVDs to do the training. So please join us. We would love to see you. It is, of course, a limited number of 10 companies because we cannot have too many people at this event or it isn't hands-on. Hope you take the step that will truly change your company, because what you do for a living is clean homes. And if you can't do that perfect every single time, then you need to tell your client, hey, there'll be a couple mistakes because that is your scope of work. Let me help you make your scope of work 100% perfect every single time. It will change your life and your company. Thanks for your time. Hope to meet you there. Bye now.